The conundrum of the relationship between consciousness and the physical world has been debated for centuries. It's called the mind-body problem. Generally speaking, there are two lines of thought on the problem: dualism and monism. Dualism proposes that the mind and body are fundamentally different from each other. Monism, on the other hand, proposes that both mind and matter are of a similar nature. Of course, with all things philosophical, there are variations of both lines of thought. The gospel of Jesus Christ sides with the monist, at least in principle. There is no separate and fundamental division between mind and matter. As Joseph Smith explained to the saints in 1843, everything is matter. It only varies in purity, fineness, or grade, but not in nature. Earlier, in 1833, the Lord explained to the prophet that the elements, meaning matter, are eternal. Spirit and matter can be materially connected to each other. In fact, this is the pathway to the fullness of joy. The differences between spirit, soul, mind, or intelligence and the mortal body, then, is not one of nature, but of organization. Joseph explained in the King Follett Discourse that creation is essentially a process of organization. This principle of organization applies to all forms of element or matter. Element can be organized from an unorganized state, but also reorganized from a lower to a higher state. The Earth became a sentient being, something we have discussed in earlier videos, through the organization of unorganized elements. This was the example Joseph used in his discourse. But it is also how intelligences are organized into spirits, as the Book of Abraham indicates. This implies that procreation and gestation are forms of organizing matter, where intelligences are organized into spirits, and spirits are placed into physical bodies also organized from matter. Healing follows this same pattern of reorganization. Called the law of healing, damaged physical bodies or organs, for example, can be reorganized into healthy bodies or organs through the modality of consciousness. The body itself is an intelligent system and can heal itself through regeneration or repair, both forms of cellular reorganization. The organization and reorganization of element also implies that all matter is intelligent. How else can inanimate matter become living and intelligent souls? Organization and reorganization does not change the nature of element, but only its capacity. Or, expressed in the negative, there is no existence at any level of organization without intelligence. Intelligence defines existence. The idea that the entire universe is made up of consciousness, or intelligence, is an ancient one. In philosophy, it's called Panpsychism. Plato was an early proponent of this concept, also called the anima mundi, or world soul. Panpsychism is found in both Western and Eastern esoteric traditions. Panpsychism is making a comeback of sorts in certain scientific circles. Of course, it is formulated in modern language, but it means the same thing. Consciousness is fundamental to everything in our universe. Dean Radin has found this to be the case in numerous scientific experiments. Radin's concept of a consciousness that extends throughout space and permeates all things, forming a fundamental interconnectedness between them, is strikingly akin to the Lord's description of the light of Christ. It fills space and is in all things. It is the power of God by which He governs all things.